Rise, Meg.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, here to provide you with another Mandalorian Season 2 update and to give you all of the news from a galaxy far, far away. So Chapter 15 of Mando, or Season 2, Episode 7, the penultimate episode of this long-anticipated season, drops in just under 24 hours, and I could not be more hyped to see what they've cooked up for the final 2 episodes. In today's news update, we're going to be speaking about everything we know about Chapter 15. We're going to be talking about Boba Fett and Season 3 of Mando, and also a very interesting theory that has cropped up about Grogu having potentially had an Easter egg in the Rise of Skywalker. Before I get into it, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and welcome if you are, and also make sure you hit that notification bell to be alerted each and every time I post new content on the channel. So without too much jibber jabber, let's get into it. So we start the news update with an article that is talking about Temuera Morrison's future on The Mandalorian. So the title is Boba Fett actor uncertain on Mandalorian Season 3 future. Now that Boba Fett has finally arrived on the show, the question is how big a role the character will play in the story going forward and whether he will be back for Season 3. The actor who plays Boba Fett, Temuera Morrison, for his part, has no answers about whether the character will figure into the plans for a third season or not, but this is what he said: "I'm just going to have to wait and see. I think a lot of it depends on how things go with this season, but I don't really know. I wanted to bring everything I had to that episode and give them a glimmer of what I can offer. There's room for this to go someplace. I hope I'm going to be included." So this response is rather ambiguous. Either Boba Fett is going to die at the end of this season and he didn't want to give it away and put it a different way, or we know for sure he's not going to die in this season because the actor himself doesn't know if he's going to be making a return as Boba Fett next season. There seems to be a lot of conversation amongst Star Wars YouTubers, and a lot of theories point towards the fact that Boba Fett might lose his life by the end of the season, but we just have to wait and see how it plays out. So now let's talk a little bit about Chapter 15 of the show, which drops tomorrow. So while there is so little we can confirm, there are 2 things we know for sure. First of all, it's going to be directed by Rick Famuyiwa, and the episode is going to be slightly longer than last week's at 40 minutes long. While never the optimal amount of Mando that we'd like to see every week, it is an improvement, and again, it's about the quality of the episode, not necessarily how long it is. For example, last week's episode was absolutely phenomenal and probably one of the best Mandalorian episodes we've ever gotten, but it was not very long, so that goes to show that it's all about what they can pack into the episode, rather than simply just judging it at face value for its length. So before I get into the next news article, I want to ask you guys, did you enjoy my Frog Lady theory video the other day? Because I had reached 25,000 subscribers, I wanted to do something a bit lighthearted while also semi-serious. So I put out the Frog Lady video, which talked about crazy theories to do with her character and how she could be far more important than we know. So please do let me know if you enjoyed that video down below, because if you did, I will try and make more videos in that kind of comedic, semi-serious format. So now let's talk about this supposed Grogu Easter egg in the Rise of Skywalker, which in and of itself sounds like a very weird thing to say, but trust me, it is a fascinating theory, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree down below. So this first started on TikTok when a user pointed out that the flashback scene in the Rise of Skywalker could be more important than we know. So just to recap, Force Ghost Luke speaks to Rey, and then we see a flashback to just after the events of Return of the Jedi, when Luke and Leia are in the middle of training, and we hear Luke tell Rey that near the end of her Jedi path, Leia decided to give up that journey because she sensed the death of her son. We see Luke and Leia give each other a very prolonged stare, and this is what doesn't really make sense in context of the film, because Luke is the one who took off his helmet, or rather slid off his helmet first, and then Leia did, and they share this stare. Now, at first glance, it could be that Luke is amazed at how powerful Leia is, or Leia had that moment of realization that she might lose her son at the end of her journey if she keeps pursuing this path. But the fan on TikTok has a theory that it could be at this moment that they sensed Grogu calling out to them in the Force while he was on the Seeing Stone of Tython, because the timeline adds up perfectly. Of course, The Mandalorian taking place 5 years after the events of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. It would be coherent to say that at this point Grogu could reach out to them. But let me know if you agree or disagree with this down below. Is it a bit far-fetched? Did Disney even think of this when they made The Rise of Skywalker? There is always that possibility, and I think it'd be really cool. Now we're going to stay on the topic of Luke Skywalker and the possibility of him being the Jedi that Grogu reached out to, because Esquire have written a really good article which talks about a specific moment in chapter 14 where we do actually see a mysterious figure on the Seeing Stone next to Grogu. The article is titled "The Mandalorian Fans Found Proof Luke Skywalker is the Jedi who will answer Baby Yoda's call." So they write, in a recent video, new rock stars break down the overwhelming evidence that points to Luke making an appearance in The Mandalorian to help Grogu. As they explain, during this moment in the Star Wars timeline, Luke has set off on an adventure to gather any information he can about Jedi, and a planet like Tython would certainly be a stop of his travels. They also point to a brief moment in the episode where it appears that there are two people standing atop the mountain. Check it out for yourself in this picture. And if that doesn't seem plausible, consider this. We know for certain that Luke is able to project himself across the galaxy. So if he's not physically standing there, could he have possibly communicated with Grogu through the Force? Stranger things have absolutely happened in the Star Wars universe. In some way or another, the Mandalorian will eventually have to loosely link up with the Skywalker saga. Again, this is their words, not mine. It doesn't seem possible for a Force user as powerful as Grogu to exist in the universe without Luke taking notice. So here's the thing, I've always stated that I believe Luke Skywalker, or an unknown Jedi we haven't seen before, is the most likely option to show up in The Mandalorian to tie it in with the Skywalker saga in some way. I know a lot of people want to see Mace Windu or Cal Kestis or other potential Jedi to show up. I just don't see that happening personally, and knowing the way that they're going with this show, I just feel like it's the most logical thing that they would add Luke Skywalker into The Mandalorian in some way. And it's most likely that he is the Jedi Grogu reached out to. I know a lot of people are going to disagree and say it's not going to be, but just wait and see. That's all I'm going to say to you. And I could be wrong, of course. We're all just fans trying to speculate and come up with hypotheses. It just seems like the most logical thing that Disney would do. So that is all of the news I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also just to make you aware that tomorrow I will be doing my full episode breakdown as soon as chapter 15 drops, so I do encourage you to check it out. I'm Star Wars Mag, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.